There's a giant dumpster fire starting in the auto industry. Ford and Tesla are pulling the pins on the smoke grenades right now, trying to cover it up, and GM is going to be next. That's what I'm talking about in this video. Bullish for Lordstown, though. Okay, well anyway, here's Ford sales. You can see this angle here. The recent announcement by Farley is that they have halted all sales for this year model, and they're sold out. Actually, their sales are down 30%. You can see my last video on the Osborne effect with Ford. But I wanted to get into this new effort by Ford. Let me see if I can pull up the right file. Okay, this is mxux. Ford to invest $3.7 billion, add 6.2 plus UAW jobs in 3 states. So let me just give you my take on Ford. Ford had a stopgap Lightning, which is their pickup truck. I do believe this is a flawed vehicle. I don't know if they're making any money on it. In my opinion, the rear suspension is fragile, and they've announced a completely redesigned truck for 2025. I think that says it all. They've announced this truck early to be first to the party or second to the party, actually to beat Lordstown Motors. They announced it too early. The Lightning, it has eaten into their biggest selling vehicle. The F-150 ICE truck sales are down 30%, and this is along with their other ICE vehicles. So all their sales are basically collapsing on the ICE side. And I think that's from the Osborne effect of prematurely announcing the F-150. Recently, Farley has made 2 announcements. Number one, that he's no longer going to sell the Lightning through dealers. He's going to do a direct sales model, which I don't even know if that's legal in most states. I think he's going to get pushback from dealers on that. Lordstown Motors had to get a special dispensation to sell direct in Ohio. So I don't know how that's going to work. They've also stopped orders for all Lightnings, and now Ford has stopped orders for all vehicles. And they said, "Oh, we're sold out." Well, they're sold. Their sales are down 30%. I think this is a big smokescreen by Farley. I don't know that Ford's doing a very good job of managing this transition. But let's just go through. I've marked this up. This is the latest thing out here. Ford, UAW, they're going to add 6,200 manufacturing jobs in the Midwest. Now, I think this is a play to the U.S. government because I think I smell a gigantic bailout for Ford, and they're setting up the premise for it right here. And you watch them get a new, the MV, the new Vector Technology Manager, the loan that Lordstown is trying to get. Watch them get one, and then watch them get a bailout. That's my opinion. Anyway, 6,200 manufacturing jobs. The Ford Plus growth strategy. Global Mustang Coupe and Ranger pickup. Now, they already make the Mustang. They're not mentioning here. They make it in Mexico. Global Mustang, that means no UAW jobs in America for the Mustang. Ranger pickup for North America is likely to be Union. Now, the thing about the Ranger pickup is sales are also down for that for the ICE version. So much for that. I mean, this is a dumpster fire Ford. Electric commercial vehicle and an new electric commercial vehicle for Ford Pro customers. Their Hi-Top van is also a disaster, and Ford Lordstown is ahead of them on all these cases. Whether or not Lordstown will unionize is a Foxconn issue. Foxconn has worked with unions in the past. And expedite the development of breakthrough electric connected vehicles. Okay, so this is their transition, their dumpster fire transition to electric vehicles, while leveraging the repute of established players, which F-150 ICE, to strengthen operating performance and make use of engineering and industrial capabilities. What they're saying there is they're trying to keep the ICE sales going until they can do this transition. But Dave Osborne affected, they've dumped their ICE sales 30%. They're going to do this build out. You know, Ford knows how to build factories, let's say 1 year, 2 years. I mean, I don't know. I am very bearish on Ford. $3.7 billion of investments. This is in addition to what they've already announced. They're throwing money at the problem. They had a hastily developed F-150. Sandy Monroe was talking about that is a big casting on the rear. You know, they got that big giant machine that tests the scale on the Ford F-150 at the end of the line, the Lightning. You know why that is? Because if you put more than 1 ounce over the payload of that vehicle, it's going to void the warranty. Because I believe that rear suspension, I mean, it's an SUV with a truck bed on it. Anyway, they know the Ford F-150. They have a whole new generation of Ford F-150s coming out. Because they don't have hub motors and because they can't use a solid rear axle, I don't see, you know, it's going to be a Honda Ridgeline, okay? Or it's going to be a Cybertruck. Cybertruck is great, but, you know, it's not a truck. It's an SUV. So can they transition? I mean, are the fleet customers going to buy an SUV? I don't think so. And if I was a fleet manager and I saw this coming, you know, there would be some question in my mind of, number one, are they going to be able to support the Lightnings that they sell, the small number they've devoted to pure fleet customers? And number two, is Ford even going to be around? I mean, I don't know. Ford is stumbling in this transition. I do believe they're going to get the advanced technology manufacturing loan. I think that's what they're gearing up for here. I do believe that they're also probably going to get a bailout. It's going to be part of Biden's jobs program or whatever. Fair enough. Here we go. We got more than 6,200 new union jobs that span 3 states. Well, of course, and that's a good thing. I am pro-union workforce, but the point is, Ford is this is not the employee's fault. This, again, is United Auto Workers are caught in the middle, and because management I mean, their plan for this transition has been, you know, let's light the dumpster on fire and see what happens. Anyway, we'll just go down here, blah, 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 blah. Ford is currently America's top employer of hourly auto workers. And the latest investment furthers its employee-centric commitment. Now, what they're not saying there is they're going to do the F-150 here. Everything else is probably going to be in Mexico. And here is Ford's. This is Ford in the blue here, and you can see I just put a trend line in there. It's slightly up now. The thing about Ford is they have paused all sales. I think this is a smokescreen by Farley to hide these diminishing sales. They said, oh, sales are rebounding. I don't know. You can look at my last video about the Osborne effect, the F-150 versus the Lightning and the Osborne effect. Ford's sales, ever since they announced the Lightning, you know, had their big show and so forth, have been dropping across all sizes and across all models. And they have been dropping more than their competitors because everybody's in a slump. But I mean, This is textbook Osborne effect. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring this up. I think this is bullish for Lordstown Motors, and I think everybody knows I'm a Lordstown Motors fan. But let's just talk about the facts here. The facts are the facts. Ford, dumpster fire. How are they going to get this? I would love to know how they're going to get this, get rid of the dealerships for their e-vehicles, which the dealers now are charging $20,000 over sticker for, and Ford can't do anything about it. Ford just told them, well, you know, we're not going to give you any more demonstrator vehicles if you keep doing that. That's all they can do. How can they just shuck the whole dealer network for the Lightning? I don't know. And do they have the infrastructure to do that? I don't know. I'm just saying this is a setup for a bailout. This is a setup for the advanced manufacturing loan, which Ford got the last time, okay, and which Tesla got, which Aptera was screwed out of the last time. And it looks like deja vu all over again. And, you know, who knows? Hopefully Aptera won't get screwed out of it. Hopefully Aptera won't need it. I said this for both the Lordstown and Aptera, that don't count on this loan, because Ford is going to get the loan. Last time Fisker got the loan. So we may have Fisker Foxconn get this MBIH loan, and Ford get it. That was exactly the outcome last time. But I'm getting off track here. I just wanted to go over this Ford. I believe this is a smokescreen. I think Ford is in disarray. Okay. A while back, they also dismissed a lot of their electrical vehicle engineering staff. They do not have that staff in place. And they also don't know about connected vehicles, and they are struggling. On the fleet side, I think this could be like a total collapse for Ford, because now they've just announced an electric fleet vehicle that they're going to be coming out with, which is going to kill their ICE fleet vehicle sales. They've announced the electric Ford F-150, the Lightning fleet vehicle, which they're only going to make 20,000 units of, and they've just announced that it's going to be obsolete, and they're going to replace it with a new one. I mean, if you're a fleet manager, would you buy that truck, knowing that they're going to obsolete it in 2 years, or their plans are to obsolete it in 2 years? I don't think I would. Anyway, let's just move on to the next topic here. Okay, here we are. This is Ford reports. This is June 2. Decline in U.S. vehicle sales. Just to back up what I just said, it's total vehicle sales in the U.S. for the month of May and year-to-date period posted a decline. Okay? For the month of May, sales are down. For the year-to-date, sales are down. 50% of retail sales are coming from previously placed orders. Our electric vehicle sales, with the addition of the F-150 Lightning this month, increased 222%. So there, again, this is the Osborne effect that has taken over Ford. And the thing is, the biggest selling vehicle in the country is the F-150. The biggest revenue creator for Ford is the F-150. F-150 sales are down. My sales figures show 30%, the ICE F-150, while the Lightning sales are up 222%, which orders they have stopped taking and cannot fill for a truck that is obsoleted and going to be replaced in 2025. This is a dumpster fire, and I see bailout all over the place, and MBIH loan, government bailout, you name it. It's going to happen. As far as their fleet vehicles go, a fleet manager is going to have to make the decision. And since really they don't really have any available fleet vehicles right now in electric, the fleet manager is going to have to make a decision. Am I going to go with Ford, or am I going to go with another company? Because Ford right now ain't doing so hot. And even if fleet managers make orders with Ford for these upcoming vehicles, are they going to be able to fill them? Again, bullish in my opinion for Foxconn and Lordstown Motors. But this is the main competition of Lordstown Motors, and I think Ford is in big trouble. When I heard the announcement that they were going to stop taking orders for everything, that's a big deal. So, anyway, this is mxux. Okay, just briefly, I just wanted to go over this. The Ford 2022 Ford F-150 is completely sold out. This is from May 15th. The order banks are closed until July, when they'll open for 2023. You know, what this is they don't want to show declining sales, so they just stop taking orders. I mean, this is a smokescreen in my opinion. And this is the same for the Maverick. This is the same for the Lightning. So the thing is, Ford sales are a dumpster fire, and rather than publish dramatically dropping figures, Farley has pulled the pin on a smoke grenade here and announced, oh well, we're not taking orders anymore. Anyway, I think this is very bullish overall for Lordstown. I think Ford is in disarray, and I don't think they're making money on any of their electric vehicles, and I think they're going to have problems going with the direct sales model. And I think, as they have announced, they're going with a completely revamped electric 150, F-150 Lightning in 2025. Why would you buy the present F-150? And I think that this puts Lordstown Motors in a very good position. As I said, just to repeat myself, government bailout, MBIH loan coming for Ford. And they are laying the groundwork right now. And I think Lordstown Motors, as far as the fleet proposition, is the leading contender right now. I think Ford is out of the picture for at least 3 more years. So that is the runway that I think Lordstown Motors has. So, anyway, that's my opinion on Ford. Bearish on Ford. Although they're going to get a bailout, who knows what. All right. Okay, this is the second smoke grenade. I think Elon Musk has pulled a pin. This is June 3, Reuters. Elon Musk has what Reuters saw an internal email supposedly from Elon Musk. They're reporting it as news to the executive staff at Tesla. Cut 10% of jobs. Has a super bad feeling about the economy. He said in an email to executives sent by Reuters, pause all hiring worldwide. Now let me ask you something. Gas is there have been forecasts that gasoline in the United States is going to go to $10 a gallon. Why? This is a smokescreen for Tesla sales in Europe and the United States. What Tesla really is talking about here is the weakness in China and in their Chinese manufacturing plant. We're going to go over the figures there. I have always said that, and I am a supporter of Tesla, but their Achilles heel is the Shanghai plant, which, can they keep it operating under the present conditions in China, where they are having problems controlling COVID? Their vaccines are not as effective as other vaccines around the world. And there are some other problems there as well. Not a political channel, but I do believe, again, I don't know if Elon Musk is deluding himself about this, but cut 10% of jobs when gasoline is going to $10 a gallon. Plows all hiring worldwide for a luxury blend. Tesla fell 5%. Musk has warned in recent weeks about a risk of recession. But his ordering a hiring freeze and staff cuts was the most direct and high-profile message of its kind from the head of an automaker. Okay? So far, demand for Tesla cars and electric vehicles has remained strong. Many indicators of a downturn, including increasing dealer inventories and incentives in the United States, have not materialized. That's because the problem is here. Tesla has struggled to restart production at Shanghai and force costly outages. So again, this may have been leaked on purpose by Tesla to, as I said, Elon pulled the pin on a smoke grenade here because. If anything, I would imagine they're going to be able to raise prices, and Tesla is a luxury brand. Any recession is probably not going to hit their customer base in the U.S. and likely in Europe. So this real problem is the Shanghai factory. And again, I would not doubt if this was leaked by Tesla. Again, a smoke grenade. Several analysts have cut prices for Tesla recently, forecasting lost output at its Shanghai plant, a hub supplying EVs to China and for export. So there you go. China accounted for just over a third of Tesla's global deliveries. Tesla had 3,200,000 orders in China, while BYD had 600,000 orders. I just want to say one thing about Chinese auto statistics. I don't believe these are reliable, in my opinion. I think a company like Faraday Future, which is listed on the NYSE, is a different story, but these figures from NIO and BYD, I have a problem with them. Let me just say that. Pause all hiring. Why would he want to pause? This again, the China factory is turning into a liability for Musk. I think if he were to be able to vaccinate the employees there with the U.S.-based vaccines, that would be a solution. The Chinese government, I do not believe, would allow that. Anyway, remotely addressing a conference in mid-May, Miami Beach, he said, Musk, I think we're probably in a recession, and that recession will get worse. Well, duh, what we are in is a transformation of the economy, because I think the fuel and the food prices are going to be up probably, I want to say permanently, because, once these companies raise their prices, they're very reticent to lower them, and there is a true shortage because of the macro events in Ukraine and the Russian hydrocarbon production and the Ukrainian wheat production. I don't know if it is a recession as much as it is a transformation of the economy, and that's bullish for American hydrocarbons, and it's bullish for American farming and North American farming. Let's say both the U.S. and Canada. and likely Mexico. Let me just go here. This is a very good chart that was put up by. Let me see if I can get this to open. Okay, this is a recent chart, and this is by the California Energy Commission. This is Tesla's sales and where they come from. So the blue area here, 15% come from the state of California. The red area here, and this is just broken down, this is the aggregate figure. So this is a quarter of sales, this is 50, 75%, and 100%. So 15% from California, 34% from China, okay? Then we move into, now that's China and export from China to Europe, which is going to be supported by Berlin now. Then you have Europe and other countries, 25%, and other U.S. states is 25%. So Tesla has 65% of its sales coming from U.S.-based markets. So the 35% that's in China is the problem. I do not think these sales are at risk with the price of gasoline going up and the target. Tesla is a luxury brand. I mean, I'm sure a recession will diminish sales somewhat, but there could not be. I mean, they are the number one player, and gas is going to double in price. So, but again, I believe that this last. I don't think they're going to suffer a recession, lower sales here. They may, but this China. This is what Elon Musk is pulling the smoke grenade. Pulled the pin on the smoke grenade and threw it down. Leaked this email, in my opinion. Then there is just one other graph I'm going to show here. Tesla's global employment. In 2020, global employment went to 70,000, a 47 increase from the previous year, like ones in China. As of the end of 2021, there are 100,000, let's say. So as it counted in China, so I don't know what their employment in China is. I mean, we can estimate here that it's about 30,000. But this is the growth in Tesla employment. So this is a rocket ship. Boom. This is a rocket ship, and if we're looking at 30,000 employees, that would be about this last leg up in this chart. This would be China, in my opinion, right here, this area right here. So, I mean, that's the picture at Tesla. They have smart management. Elon Musk is a pretty smooth operator. I'm sure they can overcome this, but I do believe that as with many manufacturers, and I think General Motors certainly falls into this as well. General Motors has a massive presence in China, and as I said, with the lockdowns there, you know, all of these companies are going to be looking at problems. Now, I think Tesla, of all the companies, auto manufacturers there, is in the best position because, of course, they have facilities elsewhere. They do not have a legacy business, which is getting Osborne affected out. General Motors, in the addition, and when they say they sell the most battery electric vehicles in the world, General Motors does through China and their joint venture partners in China. They sell a lot of battery electric vehicles. General Motors' plan was to actually build all their battery electric vehicles in China and export them to the United States. I believe the Trump administration put in tariffs that put through a monkey wrench in that. So General Motors is actually rebuilding its efforts in the United States. But They're going to face the compounded problem of the Osborne effect, which is going to definitely affect their sales, especially as gasoline prices go up and they announce more electric models. Their ICE models are going to fall. And they have the added, and again, Ford, I'm not sure what Ford's presence in China is, but certainly not to the effect that GM's is. I mean, GM is looking at some serious problems. So, of these three, Tesla, three battery electric vehicle manufacturers, Tesla, Ford, and General Motors, I think Tesla's in the best spot, but still, China being a liability. And of course, Lordstown Motors, with a pure U.S. presence, is in the catbird seat among all three of these. In the fleet vehicle space, again, Lordstown Motors is in the catbird seat ahead of all three of these players. And one of the sectors that's going to most want to embrace electric vehicles, obviously, is the fleet sector. If they can cut their fuel costs by 80%, maybe more than that now, with gas going supposedly to $10 a gallon, which more or less may be kind of permanent, I don't know, depending on how the U.S. production ramps up and the tar sands in Canada and so forth. But the point is, I think this puts Lordstown Motors in a very good position, basically to sell their entire output for the foreseeable future, at least until 2025 when Ford launches its new vehicles. Tesla, I mean, their cars are fleet vehicles. Will the Cybertruck be a fleet vehicle? Yeah. Is it a work vehicle? No, I do not think it is. And I don't think it's going to be priced like a work vehicle. I think it's going to be $100,000. Okay, that's it.